Hey guys, it's Brigitte with Sandy Seed Company, and it's January. I'm in the garden, and you know what January means? It means it's almost seed starting season. Well, it's always seed starting season for me, but for most of you guys, you're really thinking about starting seeds, and this video is going to help you become a seed starting expert so that you really can take your garden to the next level. So one of the things that really breaks my heart is when I meet gardeners or have customers reach out to us who are not having good luck starting seeds. Most of the time it's because they're lacking in core seed starting skills. Now, seed starting is the thing that you gotta know to be a really good gardener because it's an inexpensive and easy way to continue to fill your garden with plants after they die off or they're just done. I want you to be really good at seed starting because it's an inexpensive way that you can get really cool crops in your garden, and it's a way in which you can really make your garden productive all year long. Now, if you watch this video, you're gonna get half of my seed starting knowledge because it's way too much to put in one video, and so we're having to do two parts, part one, part two. And spoiler alert, in part two, I'm gonna give away everything you need to be a really good seed starter. So stick around, hit the notification button, make sure you watch this video and the next so that not only do you have all the knowledge you need, but you have all the supplies to be a pro seed starter. Okay, so if you've watched my seed starting videos, you know that I have a bunch of them. Maybe you've even attended some of my seed starting classes. The first thing I always talk about is the thing that is the most important and will make the biggest difference in your success rate, and that is seed starting soil. Or, as my videographer corrected me, it's not really soil, it's a seed starting medium, which is true. We can get into so much information. This could be a 30-minute video on just the soil, but I want to break down why it matters and what you need to know. So if I'm making bullet points for you, first thing is you have to start your seeds in a medium that says seedling or propagation or seed starting. That's because it's formulated, it's been created specifically for one thing and one thing only: quick and even seed germination. That's why these products work really well and will make you a better seed starter. If you don't listen to anything else I have to say about seed starting, using high quality, really specific mixes for seed starting will really make the difference. Now, there's tons of brands out there, and the black gold is my personal favorite for zone 9 and 10 because it has a high peat moss content, so it holds on to a lot of moisture because we're so hot here. But another runner-up is, this is G&B, it's from Kellogg's, it's a seed starting mix. Now, again, it says seed on it. So if all else fails, make sure you get something that says seed. Now, I just want to show you what it looks like. Now, it has perlite or vermiculite, it's got peat moss or coconut coir. It usually has a pH adjuster, which is why you can't make your own seed starting mix easily at home for those of you who are like super DIYers. Just buy the seed starting mix. And the other thing that makes these products so good is they have been sifted and filtered to have really small particle sizes. Now, the bigger these particle sizes, so something like this, if you're starting a really small seed, if that lands on top of your seed may not germinate. So again, best case scenario, you buy a really good product that is tried and tested. Our Sungrow Black Gold, we sell it on the website, you can get that. If you can't find that, get another product that says seed starter. And worst case scenario, if you can't find anything at your local nursery that says seed starter, then you can get high quality potting mix. But there's a caveat. You have to sift out the large particles. So this is actually potting mix that we sifted to ensure that no rocks or sticks or anything like that is in it. It's just light and fluffy and really even material. Now, how do you sift? Super simple. I have a sifter that my toddler took, so where is it? It's right here. You can use anything to sift it to ensure that the particle size is really small. So you can use a screen, you can use a colander, anything to ensure that the medium is even and consistent in its particle sizes. Now, as I mentioned, these products are to do one thing and one thing only: germinate the seed quickly and evenly. Now, I can imagine the comments already of people being confused because they might say, but I direct sow seeds in my garden and the soil does not look like this. You are correct. This is the best product for seed starting in trays. Like you see all my trays here. But a nice little cheater trick that you can use if you're having trouble direct sowing is you can make a furrow and actually cover the seeds with this material. This is not to be something that a plant really needs to thrive in. It's to allow, if you had a little tiny seed here, to burst through the soil easily and quickly and totally unencumbered by large particles or, chunks of things that could make it harder for it to germinate. All right, so the second thing that is really important for seed starting, especially if you're in a zone that's really hot, so zone 9 and 10, is a bottom watering tray. Now, the reason why these are so essential is because, as you may or may not know, a seed requires moisture to germinate. And so one of the biggest troubles we have in our zone is keeping soil moist the whole time to allow for quick and easy germination. By using a bottom watering tray, there's several benefits. One, when I seed something, I can actually put a little reservoir of water in there to continue to be sucked up by capillary action throughout the soil to keep it moist. It also allows me to bottom water. And now what does that mean? It means that when I'm watering my plants, I'm actually coming in here and I'm not just spraying them like this, because that's more likely to promote fungal diseases, which could kill off my starts. I'm adding water to the bottom of this tray, hence the term bottom watering, so that it can be sucked up and the top layer can remain dry and the plant can basically thrive in a less fungal rich environment. You'll actually see that I added dry soil on top of here to try to keep some of the fungal activity from actually growing on the plant and killing it. Remember that funguses and diseases love warm, moist environments. This greenhouse is a warm, moist environment. So just to recap, bottom watering trays help to continue to allow moisture for your starts, which is key for germination. It also can help manage fungal diseases, which can kill off your crops. And again, in our zone, water is so sacred. It is so important that we are careful in the way we use it. By using a bottom watering tray, I can guarantee there's no waste. I'm not getting water on my floor, on my table here. It is all staying where it needs to go in the tray for the seeds and the plants. Okay, so not to toot my own horn, but the third thing that I'm going to say is going to wrap back into number one. And that is, your seed starting medium has to have moisture in it. You have to pre-moisten it. Now, that's going to be a lot easier if you use a high quality seed starting mix, because there's a lot of peat moss or coconut coir in it, which retains moisture. Now, naturally, peat moss is going to be hydrophobic, meaning that it's going to not take on moisture very quickly. And you know what this is like when you go to water seed starting mix that's completely dry and it basically won't take on any moisture. So the way in which you do that is you fill your tray. Just give an example here. Take our little 3-pack here. We fill it with high quality seed starting mix. We take it over to one of our bottom watering trays and put it over here. I fill this tray with moisture so that it can suck through and there can be moisture all the way through this container and not just on top. If you were to go like this, which a lot of new gardeners will do, all right, looks moist enough. I'm gonna go ahead and plant. If we actually investigate how much moisture is in here, almost none. So you have to use a bottom watering tray to make sure moisture gets all the way through there and that every inch of that soil has moisture in it to guarantee quick and even germination. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about with seed starting is temperature. Now, specifically when we're talking about zone 9 and 10, temperature is one of the things that I'm like, ish, as long as you're close. And that's because if you look at a temperature list of what the temperatures are required for most vegetable, herbs, and flowers, it's going to be somewhere between 45, 50 degrees to 80 degrees. Well, here in zone 9 and 10, what is the temperature usually? Somewhere between 45 and 80 degrees. Now, granted, there are ideal temperatures which will allow for seed starting to happen much quicker. And that's when you use something like a greenhouse or a heat mat to alter your temperature so that your seeds start quicker and more evenly. Now, the reason why I like to point out that temperature is not that big of a deal for our particular zone is because you don't have to start your seeds indoors and you don't have to have a greenhouse. In fact, we have a video that we'll link to in the description about how complicated it is to have a greenhouse. And sometimes it's way easier just to start your seeds on a table outside during the correct season where the temperatures will naturally be close to what you need to germinate your crops. Now, the caveats I'll give is that if you want to do peppers, eggplants, or tomatoes, which are in the Solanaceae family, you don't need a heating mat, but it will make the germination happen a lot quicker. And our goal in a greenhouse, whether it's a backyard greenhouse or a commercial greenhouse, is to get seeds to germinate as quickly as possible because there's less bad things that can happen the quicker they germinate. If I can get my starts grown up to a size that they're nice and big and healthy, dampening off fungus isn't going to do anything to them. If I accidentally water a little too much or not enough, they're still going to survive. So you want to get them up and grown to a size that they're really happy and ready to plant out quickly. And one way in which you do that is by trying to give them the most ideal growing conditions possible. So I would say look at a chart of temperatures for most crops and try to get close within 10 to 15 degrees, more or less, most of the time. And you'll notice you'll have great germination rates, you'll have really good success, and it will kind of take some of the complicated fear around seed starting out, just knowing that you don't need a complex greenhouse or a complex indoor seed starting setup to start your own seeds. All right, so make sure you hit the bell and you subscribe to our channel so that you can be notified when part 2 comes out and you can enter our seed starting giveaway. Not just that, so that you can be involved with all of our amazing content that we put out for zone 9 and 10, and so that I can help you be the best gardener yet. So remember, seed starting is like the most important part about gardening because it's a way in which you can garden inexpensively and get tons of really cool rare varieties that you only can get in seed form. So it's kind of like a, I don't know, like a Girl Scout badge. Like you have to get like one of the little circle things. Like I feel like if we were gardeners and we had those little sashes, we would have a little thing that says seed starting, and you have to learn it to be a really good gardener. And so I hope that this video and our next video and all of our content helps you be a really good seed starter so you can have plants all year round.